The existing site houses a storage facility for New York City Transit Authority buses. It is similar to a flat enclosed parking garage or warehouse. The housing system this project recommends is one which incorporates residential units situated across three spectrums of scale: physical size, term of residence, and cost. Incorporated are micro units for short hotel visits, rooms for months-long extended stay hotel residences, similar sized rental units on year-to-year leases, and privately owned residential units of varying sizes for the most permanent of accommodations, some of which are intended to be extremely expensive. This system will also be an engine for art forms across the same scales. There will be pieces on permanent display, pieces made in an afternoon by unskilled hands, pieces which take months to produce, and murals of various sizes. All ages will be capable of making their mark here, with an emphasis on professionally led workshops encouraging children to do so. The site is located between Columbia and City College of New York. It is a short walk to 125th Street, and there is subway access within 2 blocks. The system intended for this site is one which will serve as extensions of established art-related programs such as Studio Museum of Harlem and Blick Art Materials Supply Shop. The site brings together the conventional art practices of the consumer with the more formal gallery society, while also incorporating the ever-changing street art culture associated with Harlem. The site strives to inspire and enable creativity, to foster meaningful connections between the residential and art communities, to support artists at any stage of their journey, to provide various residential options to fit different needs and desires, and to supply neighbors, visitors, children, and artists with the environment, tools, and training needed to innovate, collaborate, and reach their potential while celebrating their interests and talents. The commercial programming incorporates small retail shops, temporary pop-ups, and 1 or 2 large anchors. The hotel allows for visitors to stay anywhere from 1 night up to several months. The hotel houses a fine restaurant and is also connected to an open-air cafe. There are 2 primary art programs: studio spaces for making and gallery spaces for displaying. Work by the artists in residence is showcased in the gallery on a rotating basis and is occasionally for sale. These professionals lead public workshops often tailored to youth and young adults. Children can make their mark by painting a tile, which becomes a permanent part of the gallery. Workshop spaces are available to the public when not in session, and materials can be purchased from the on-site art supply shop. The garden houses sculptures and monuments for contemplation, reflection, and spaces for gathering. The facades provide canvases for murals of vastly different sizes, some located within residential courtyards, while others are seen by the entire neighborhood. Here are all those who occupy the site, whether temporarily or permanently. There are landlords, on-site employees, Harlem locals, tourists visiting New York City, parents visiting their university-aged children, medical students on clinical rotation, artists in residence, visiting professors, full-time students, full-time professors, renters, and homeowners. The site functions as a co-op to fund affordable housing and other cultural initiatives. In this system, residential units are privately owned. Some are rented out to tenants, and all units pay into a homeowners association, which oversees housing-related issues and maintenance. Businesses are also privately owned and pay into the Commercial Owners Association. The Master Association governs both sub-associations and redirects some funds to 3 on-site initiatives: subsidized housing, the studio and gallery programs, and artist fellowships. All property owners are willing to pay higher association fees because they desire to invest in the neighborhood's lower-income residents, and they desire to invest in Harlem's art community, ensuring the growth of its collaborative culture of making. Most stakeholders maintain relationships to multiple programs. The public has free access to a central volume consisting of both enclosed and open circulation. Next, retail lines the streets. Residential units aggregate above. Housed between the residential units are art-related programs and the hotel's core. Then, above this, residential units mix with hotel rooms. The highest floors are devoted to upscale units at much more expensive price points. Additional lines depict possible program connections. Takeaways from Assignment 1 included the potential value of underused void spaces as opportunities for public gathering and the breakdown of the grid in Manhattanville having been caused by the addition of what were once abnormal tower schemes. Takeaways from Assignment 2 included how micro-units enable affordability and how shared spaces and public programs are critical to building a culture on-site which also connects to its neighborhood. The courtyard scheme utilizes snaking forms to prioritize open shared spaces common to all programs. The shifting scheme utilizes 2 volumes per floor, separated by a void meant to be shared between programs to allow for exchange. This creates an underlying regularity throughout the resulting volume. The alphabet scheme utilizes a stacking of forms of varied character to create unique relationships among the resulting overlaps and void conditions. The bar scheme subdivides the site volume and prioritizes public circulation beneath and between the volumes. Rotating of these volumes allows for circulation between the subdivisions. The bar tower scheme uses the nature of multiple bars as a subdivided plinth which allows for multiple tower forms to rise, all connected with bridge conditions. This most recent massing is composed of a series of bars rising up from a single plinth. The plinth houses commercial spaces and the collaborative studio programming. The single-loaded bar volumes house southern-facing residential and hotel units. Each bar stretches out and away from one another and incorporates setbacks, all to maximize views and southern light. The highest tower enables views of the Hudson River and will house the most expensive of the privately owned residences. Between the bars are 3 courtyard conditions. The central courtyard houses the galleries, including a rooftop sculpture garden.